Hello and welcome to the third scenario of the Dunwich Legacy with Jacqueline and Nathaniel Cho. So to start off, let's just take a look at what I upgraded in the decks. We got 4 experience in the last scenario, and with Jacqueline, I spent her 3 upgrade points, and 2 of those to buy 1 copy of 6 Cents, which will add 2 brains to our test, and it also makes it possible for us to investigate close by locations so we can get more clues at once. And I bought an upgraded Roll of the Night, which the main difference is that that when you use this, playing the spell will not provoke an attack of opportunity, which could help us in some cases. So let's go here. For Nathaniel, we got Dr. Henry as a story asset. I'm mainly just going to use him as soak. You can also discard a card to get 3 resources, and he has 2 wilds, so he's probably going to be okay. But his sanity isn't that good. And then I upgraded Get Over here. It's fast. You can play it in any fast player window, which means you can play it in the Mythos phase, for instance. And since Nathaniel's power to deal 1 extra damage with events is every phase, not every turn, we can use this to effectively deal 2 damage in the Mythos phase. So it's just some more damage utility. And let's draw our hands. Remember, we have 2 trauma from taking these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We definitely don't need all this. I'm going to take a chance, I think, and just throw everything but the Voice of Ra, which will help us generate money. We don't get a weakness in the draw. Yeah, this seems quite good. We got the tools we need to deal with things. And for Nathaniel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we need the guts to begin with. Actually, and having when there's not really that many, this scenario kind of only it has very limited enemy pool, so I think we'll just skip it all in the hope of finding the gloves. No, but we found Francis, which will also give us a plus. Okay, let's take a look at the scenario. So, the Miskatonic Museum. Several months ago, Dr. Armitage and his colleagues stopped a rampaging horror from tearing through Dunwich, a backwater town several hours north and west of Arkham. At first you imagined this beast as a rabid bear or worse, but the professor's description of the creature paints a different picture. It all began with a man called Wilbur Whately, and when a man named Wilbur Whately entered the Orne Library looking for Olaus Vermius' Latin translation of a book called the Necronomicon. Wilbur already possessed a beaten-up English translation by Dr. John Dee, but it was insufficient for his purposes. Armitage turned the man away, fearing what use the strange man had for the book. Whately returned in secret, hoping to steal the book, but was attacked by a hound guarding the university. Armitage writes, and Morgan later discovered Whately's body. A description of the foul corpse, semi-anthropomorphic and covered in fur, with a leathery hide and greenish-grey tentacles, causes you to question whether or not Whately was truly a human. And now we have to go to part 2. My colleagues and I were quick to put the ordeal behind us, Armitage says with a sigh, but it seems that things haven't fully resolved themselves. I'll tell you the rest later, but for now it's imperative that we get our hands on that copy of the Necronomicon. If my instincts are correct, the assailant you encountered will be searching for it. After all that transpired, I didn't feel safe keeping it at the library, so I brought it to my good friend Harold Wallstead. He is the current curator of the Miskatonic Museum. I thought it would be safe in the museum's restricted halls, but now I'm not sure. You must retrieve it at all costs. I fear terribly what they could do with the rights contained within its pages. So we have to go and find the Necronomicon from this place. And we add the cards. Let's just shuffle them. We we randomize one of these locations. We have to build the exhibit hall deck, which means that we have to take 1, 2. We have to take the restricted hall and shuffle it into the last with 2 other cards, which will be the bottom of the deck, and put the 3 others on top. And remember not to shuffle this. And there's cards out of play, which is okay. And in this scenario, with the void area, which is basically just an area that's where the creature we're fighting is going. We will be starting at the entrance, of course. Let's see what it says. The Miskatonic Museum is an opulent and stately building supported by expeditions funded by the university. Its sizable collection of exotic artifacts, curios, and art has drawn visitors from all over the country. And we flip. And we'll see, as you approach the museum, you draw your coat tighter around your body to keep the wintry air away. The full moon drapes the building in ominous bright moonlight. 2 clues and 3 shroud, and we can get resources here, and we can resign here. And the agenda deck says restricted access. Dr. Armitage has given the university's Latin translation of the Necronomicon to his associate Harold Wallstead, which we do know. And it has a doom threshold of 5. It is forced that when the hunting horror enters play, we have to put the set aside Shadowspawn to it, or add a resource to it. And over here, finding a way. Unfortunately, the entrance to the museum is kept locked at this late hour. A security guard is visible through the building front window, oblivious to his surrounding. Perhaps you can find a way to get his attention and convince him to let you in. So we need 2 clues to get in. I don't think it wouldn't be. I don't think these guys would smash up a window when they can see a guard. So let's play some cards. Let's play. Let's play the Voice of Ra for 1 action. So we get a 1 resource, and then we reveal 3 random tokens. So 1 resource, and reveal 3 random tokens. We'll use our ability to reveal 5 instead, and then cancel 2 of them. And for every symbol, we get another resource. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sadly, that's only 2 more resources from this, and we'll just cancel this and cancel this. And when we cancel this, we'll draw a card. Let's ship this back. Then we'll play the Rite of Seeking. Actually, just save money on all this. Let's play the Ropes. And then play the Rite of Seeking for 1 cheaper. Like that. And next turn we can play one of these. And over here, we'll just play Francis. And we'll draw a card. And we'll draw a card. We need to dig a bit so we can find the boxing gloves. Then there are no enemies, so we'll just upkeep. Or physical training, which can also do the same thing. Shuffle this, add a doom. Draw a card. We have to test head. And we're going to be using her ability for this. Head 5. So, I wish we didn't use it at this point. We're at 5 minus 4, so we are failing with 4, so we have to discard the top 4 cards of the deck. I thought we could deal with this, but no. Should have played the Ward of Protection, but I thought I could get around it. And over here, we get a Beyond the Veil. Nathaniel's not going to draw through his deck through this, so we'll just take it, and it has Search. We're testing head. We'll add our guards, that's why we have it. So we are at 5 to 3. And we did I set up the cashback? Yeah, I did. That's a -1. So we succeed. And we don't care about this. And we draw a card from guards. So our turn. Let's play the pendulum and save this for a bit later. The pendulum. Then let's try to get these clues. It's 3 to 6. We are going to succeed by 2 or fail by 2. If that's correct, we draw a card. So let's draw 1, 2, 3. So we're at 6 to 3. Nope, we're succeeding by. If we pick this, we're at 5, and then we succeed by 2. Because it was 3, right? Yeah. So we'll pick that, succeed by 3. Draw a card. And get the 2 clues here. That's 2 actions. And then we'll spend the 2 clues. We spend the clues. You find the window nearest to the guard and tap it loud enough to get his attention. He gives a startled jump and shifts open the window. What do you want? He asks timidly. You explain the situation to him and tell him he's in grave danger. He verily opens the front door to the museum, shaking his head. I wasn't even supposed to be here today. We have to take control of Adam Lynch and reveal the museum halls. So let's first take control of him. We're going to give him to Jacqueline. I'll show you what it does in a few. And we have to reveal this. And right now we can't enter. Now it's revealed and we can enter. And there's an action where you can spend 2 clues to reveal one of the exhibit halls. And then we succeed to X 2A, Night at the Museum. And we remove this one from the game. And this says the Necronomicon is being kept in the restricted hall somewhere in the museum. Adam barely knows his way around and gives a startled jump at every creak of the old building. I just started here last week, he explains. What sort of trouble did you say was going on? You haven't the heart to tell him. And we advance when we find the exhibit hall, restricted hall. So that's the goal. And Adam himself here, he has 1 life, and 1 sanity. When you control him, we can spend 1 action using the security's office ability. We're probably not going to do that. And when he leaves play, he will give us a tablet. And as far as I understand this, after I checked it a bit, is that it's just a question about time. So if we keep him alive, the entire scenario, we just don't have a tablet. But as soon as the game ends, he will go out of play and we will get a tablet. At least that's the main interpretation of this that I saw. So we're probably just trying to make him stay alive as long as we can. Let's take a walk to this place, to this spot here. And then over here, let's play the physical training. Let's move here, and then let's just take a look at the administration office. So what does it say? A sturdy wooden door with a plaque next to it reads administration. In the hall outside the doorway, you see a row of paintings depicting the museum's many curators through the years, each adorned with their name and years of employment. Perhaps it's just your imagination, but they look more distressed in recent years. We cannot investigate here while you have 4 fewer resources. I find this meticulous, structured office. So you have to be rich to get these. Okay. No enemies, so we'll upkeep. I got and a dark for ally. That's going to be okay. So with that done, we'll add a doom. We're 2 out of 5. We'll grab a card. It's a barrier. I think we can reliably deal with this time, I say. And we have to choose a card. We're going to be choosing skill cards to discard. And everybody discards those. And I try not to look at the other person while I do that, just to keep some expense. My short-term memory isn't always the greatest, so I can probably shock myself. With that done, how many resources does she have? She has only 2. So let's try to go over here. We have to deal with this test first. Let's say we're going to succeed by 0. We are at 6 to 4. We're also going to use this. We'll grab the -1. We don't get anything from this, but this is discarded without us having to throw away cards. And we'll move in here to the security office with a shroud of 2 and 2 clues. And it has some manipulation of this deck, but I'm really not going to care about it because I want to get what's on those cards. It's 1 action. We're going to investigate. It's 2. So we'll throw out a Rite of Seeking. We didn't spend 1 from the first time, so. And we need to spend those clues we already had. So let's do a test. Actually, let's grab a resource first and then do the test. It's a star, so we succeed. And grab these 2 clues. And then Nathaniel is going to. How many resources do we have? 2. We'll walk out here. And we'll pay 2 resources to get this guy out, just to do a bit of soaking if possible. And for the last action, so I believe, and I'm not entirely sure because there's so many rules in this game, and every time you find something you're not used to, you kind of get confused. That when we spend clues as a group, and it doesn't specifically say that everybody has to be here, I can activate this ability and spend the 2 clues and reveal a location. So all these exhibition halls are connected to the museum hall to begin with. With that done, we're going to upkeep. We're going to add a doom. Going to draw a card. I am going to ward this after the last failure. We've got 19 cards left, so I don't want to mill it too much. And over here, we get some mist that makes it hard to spot the nice exhibits. I wouldn't be in a museum. I actually worked in a museum for a few years, and if I encountered the obscuring fog inside the museum, I would probably have left pretty quickly. So it's our turn. So I think Jacqueline doesn't have her tools anymore. I think we kind of need to find them. So let's just send Nathaniel down here. It's the Egyptian exhibition hall, and if we fail a skill test here, we lose 1 action. Okay. Then Nathaniel is going to get 2 resources. That's basically what we can do right now. And for here, we do have 1 right of seeing left, so let's just use that. So let's walk to the museum hall, and this connects to... it only connects to this. It's 2 actions. And then use the last of these. We're at 8, 2, 3. Let's just use the ability anyway, because we don't have anything else to use it for. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to cancel this and cancel this. Canceling this will give us a card from her ability. And at -3, we are at 3 to 3. So we can grab 2 clues from this. And we're done. And then Nathaniel will walk up here, spend an action on using those 2 clues to put in a new location. And then he'll walk into this location to show what it is. It is the Medusa exhibition. And when we fail a skill test here, we discard an asset we control. That's probably going to be a bit dangerous to do with him. So, with that done, we'll do our upkeep. We might as well play this if we have time for it, to get 1 extra experience. Dunwich Horror is not really friendly about dealing out the experience. We also have to keep in mind that a monster can appear at any point now. So we grab a doom, we grab a card. If Hunting Horror is in play, add 1 doom to it. If it's not in play, search the encounter for it and spawn it at your location. Engage with you. So that's a bit sad. I would have preferred that was Nathaniel. Search. So it's this guy. The Hunting Horror has 2 fight, 3 life, 2 evade. It hunts, retaliates, so it hits us back if we fail to hit it. At the start of the enemy phase, you have to draw a token. And it will be readied if you draw any of the symbols. And it goes to the void instead of the discard pile. And we also have to attach the this card in here to it. Search for the shadow spawned. So this card it remains attached to it, and it gets +1 fight, +1 health, +1 evade for each resource on this. And if it has 3, it becomes massive. I'm just going to make this the void and have this card as a reference down here. And basically it means that every time it comes back, it will be stronger. It's one there at Jacqueline. And it's actually easier just to have a guy who just evades it all the time. But I think Nathaniel can deal with it at least 2 or 3 times without problems. And we might run from it with to save an action here. And for Nathaniel, we have to draw a card. We have to take... It's not great. Let's... a non-story asset, so... This is probably the only choice. We have to discard. We didn't discard a dog, so we don't take 2 horror damage. But we're a step closer to becoming blasted. Actually, right now we could survive it. So that would be something. With that done... Let's see. We did spend that to investigate. How are we going to do this? So Nathaniel is 2 away. This is hunting. I would love these clues. It's a bit of a problem. No, it's not. We can use this to deal with it. Let's just check if attack of opportunity just counts as an attack. It's page 5. They count as enemy attacks. Okay. Well, let's try to deal with it then. So we can free up Jacqueline, and we'll just have to... I think we can beat it up. So let's start with Nathaniel. 2 actions to move over here. And then we'll spend a 3rd action on hitting it. And we can just as well use a clean them out to begin this to gain 2 resources. It's a 3, 2... We're at 5 and it's a 2. So if we use a resource with physical training, we'll be at 6 to 4 or 6 to 2. So we can beat it with everything but the auto fail. -1. We'll use Nathaniel's power to deal 2 damage. Oh, it's flying. Not done him on here. Then we're going to do an investigation action over here, which will trigger the attack of opportunity. And we're going to be playing this card, Heroic Rescue. So, is it elite? Is it elite? Is it a stupid elite? Yeah, it blocks everything. That's actually quite annoying. Okay, so we're not going to do that. So Jacqueline is going to attack it. We'll spend a promise of power stuff in a curse token into the deck. The curse token will give us -2, and we have to draw one more. Then we'll spend. We're at 6 to 2. Let's spend her power and say we'll succeed by 2. And we'll just cancel these 2 and we'll succeed by 2, dealing this 1 damage and sending it to the void. That's 1 action. And draw a card. Then we'll play that card using the Robes of Midnight to only pay 3 for it. Like that. And then we'll do an investigation check at 6 to 3. And of course we're allowed to fail. And lose all our actions, but we didn't have anything left. Okay. We'll do our upkeep. We got a Henry here. I think Nathaniel is going to be able to deal with this. Have to stick a bit together. We'll add a Doom to here, and it resets and flips. From the shadows of the museum, it holds a terrible creature slithers forward, long and serpentine, and propelled by black glittery wings. It's not in play, so we play it in the museum hall, which means that it will get a bit stronger. And we have 7 turns again. Okay. So let's see. Let's try this again. 6. We have to draw bad cards first. So let's roll. Test headfall. We failed. We have an asset, so we don't care. It's -1. We don't fail. And you're gone. We don't have to discard an asset. And over here, we have to test book 3. And we lose 1 action for each we fail by. Do we need Nathaniel to do anything? No. Let's test 3 to 2. So it's 2 action. So 1 to 3. So we lose 2 actions. Like that. Then we can spend this. And probably this too. Pull 3 tokens. And we'll just grab the -1, which will be enough. We'll clear this out. I think we'll use this to play Delve So Deep. For what it's not a spell, so we have to pay. Draw a card. Crypt Chill. Let's just test it. It's an Elder Sign. So we'll deal with this, and we'll put this experience point into the victory display. That's 2 actions. And then let's just be gone from here and walk into this place. I think Nathaniel can deal with this. Remember, this now has 3 fight and 4 life. And it will go to us down here. We can handle 1 hit from it because we're pretty unscathed. For last action. Oh, I forgot that Nathaniel doesn't only have 1 action, so we'll walk out here. This will attack Jacqueline for 1 horror and 1 damage, and actually we're going to put the damage here. We have the other one too, so we have some soaking here. We'll do our upkeep. we'll do our upkeep. We have 8 cards, and we can deal with this with 1 attack, so that's fine. We'll add a Doom. There's 6 more left. We'll get a card. We have to... I think we're going to reveal 3 tokens. We'll cancel everything but the +1, which means we cancel this and draw a card. And as this is a positive number, nothing happens. So that was fine. And over here, a locked door at the location with the most clues. We're going to stuff it up here because I don't care about this area really. With that done, I think we're going to start with Nathaniel, who's going to hit this thing. We're going to be using 1/2 punch, which costs 2. We're at fight 7 against fight 4, so let's put in 1 resource from physical training to make it an 8-4. So we only succeed, yeah, so this is where we fail, right? Yeah, yep. Let's try again. We have 1 more. We'll do the same. A 7, we hit it once. We'll spend our ability. We'll deal it 2 damage, and when we fail, we actually had to deal 1 damage to her. And then we'll make a second attack with +1, so we're at 8, so it's only the auto fail. There's no auto fail, and this attack deals 1 extra damage, so that's 4. So this goes up here. Attack. This goes out. And then we'll spend the last action on, as a group, spending 2 clues and revealing the last of these guys. And then for Jacqueline, she's going to move. She's going to move down here. She's going to spend an action to play Drawn to the Flame. No, that's not here. That's on a harder location. So we'll just spend this. Draw a token. It's a 0, so it's a 6 to 2. We'll get 2 clues and a victory point. And we'll move back. We're not going to be doom tokens. That was relatively productive. So we'll upkeep. And we have 18 cards left. We have a scene of a crime, which can be okay to just get a clue. We have 8 cards here, so that's okay for now. We'll add a doom. 5 left. We'll draw a card. We'll use Jacqueline's ability. We'll pick the -1. Take a damage because it's a negative number. We'll get a card over here. We have to choose one. We're choosing skill again. Discarding our cards. Do we have any skills here? Nope. Not really very skill heavy decks these. So that's fine. Let's use Nathaniel to spend 2 clues as a group and put this into play. So these down here can be the place we're looking for. Then Nathaniel is going to go down here. So after you enter this location, you have to discard 2 cards at random from your hand. It will be clean them out and a dodge. And then we're going to see if we can deal with this somehow with Nathaniel. let's grab a card. Okay. I think we have the soak to deal with this. And over here, we're out of magic. Let's take a look down at this place. It is the exhibition hall. After you enter this location, lose all your remaining actions and immediately end your turn. Oh. That's a nice place. Which means that we have to go over there. Let's do the upkeep. We'll probably have to discard a card here. Let's discard Sign Magic. I'm not really going to be using it anymore. And I really kept it to remember to maybe try out the upgrade version. And Nathaniel's upkeep. Hey, boxing gloves. That's going to help so much. We're out of Doom. We have 4 left. And I'm kind of guessing that the snake will come back when we hit 7. We'll grab a card. We get Cursed Luck, which gives us a -1 to all our tests. And we can discard it when we succeed by 1 or more. And we get an Arcane Barrier over here. Which basically means that Jacqueline has to come and help Nathaniel. So, 1 to move. 1 to try to move in here. We have to test 6 against 2. Let's test 7 and use Jacqueline's ability. I actually might want to throw in this too. So 8. So with the -1, we're at 7 to 4. Yeah, we'll pick the -1. We'll draw a card from having discarded this. And we succeed by 2 and more, or by a lot more than 1, so we can discard this. And this is gone. And Nathaniel is free. Then we'll spend 1 action to play. What's going on here? To play Drawn to the Flame. We'll draw a card. We have to test our book, which is 3. Oh, we lose actions, so that's great. We fail by 1. And lose all our remaining actions, but we get 2 clues. And we're over here. So Nathaniel can go back to the museum halls. He can spend the 2 clues and put this into play. And he's going to be playing. Is he going to be playing anything? If we move down, we can potentially use Scene of the Crime. So let's move down. It is the Hall of the Dead. If we fail here, we'll take 1 horror. Okay. No enemies. We'll do the upkeep. Drawn to the Flame, Monster Slayer. We'll add a Doom. 3 times left. We'll get a card. This is going to be a bit mystery in here. This, we can only have 1, but it still has searched. We get to draw a token. We get a -2, so we take 1 damage, which is actually going to Francis. I actually forgot that we could have drawn a card with him, but you know. There's a tree here. So Nathaniel is going to start out here playing Scene of the Crime to get one clue from this. Then he's going to gain one resource. No, he's not. He's spending 2 resources, getting the boxing gloves out. And yeah, then he's getting one resource. Scene of the Crime, boxing gloves, resource. We'll go up here and down here. Then we'll play Drawn to the Flame. If the hunting horror is in play, it's not, otherwise it gains search. So, one more bad luck. And over here, we have to test our head. We'll we'll have to deal with this. So we'll put in this. We're at 5. We're at 6. We get a -2, and so we're at 4 to 3. So we succeed. So we don't risk the wrath of getting 10 damage. And now, we have to remember the 2 clues. Now we're going to do an investigation here. At 3 against 3. But we get -1, so it's 2 to 3. Let's add in this one, so we get 4. So we're at 6 to 3. And let's use Jacqueline's ability. We also have to add one of these. 1, 2, 3. Let's cancel everything but the 0 and succeed with enough to discard this and get the clue. I forgot to press upkeep, which will do a difference what we're going to do. This spawns at the location furthest away, which will be here or here. Actually, it could be anywhere. Let's put him here and not care about him. And we did the action to get the clue. We'll move to the exhibition hall. We'll spend 2 clues. I'm putting the last card into play. Where did it go? Where did the card go? Let's see if I can get it back by doing this. We could. So we're pretty much sure that this is going to be the restricted hall. Let's put it there. So that's 3 actions. And Nathaniel, you just have to fight. So we're at 7 to 2, which means it's only the auto fail who's stealing anything. The problem with Tommy Malai is that he can only take 1 damage at a time. So we kind of have to just beat him down. So 1 attack. It's -3, which is still enough because we're at 7. We're actually at 8. We'll remove one of the curse tokens. That's 1 damage. Let's attack again. Since it's a fight action, we get to return an event card to our hand. We might have a need of this. And we deal 1 damage. And for the last one, it's a curse token at a 0. So we can remove the curse token. And we deal 3 damage, sending him to the discard pile. And spending 3 actions. We'll add the Doom. We'll draw a card. And we also have to press upkeep. So it's not in place, so we have to search it and spawn it at our location, engage with us. And we'll add one more token to this, so now it's at 4 fight and 6 life, 4 life and 5 life. And over here, nothing more. Oh, we have to shuffle the encounter deck if we do that. Yeah. That's if we search it, but we can shuffle it anyway. And over here, we're at 3. We're at 5. And let's hope that +2 is good enough. It is. So we don't have to discard cards or take damage. Then it's our turn. Nathaniel is going to be dealing with the hunting horror, so he's going to move up here. He's going to engage it. It's not really a big threat. The greatest threat is running out of cards right now. And then he is going to... I really don't got anything. Oh, I got Monster Slayer to play. So we play Monster Slayer. So move, engage, attack. We're going to be fighting at 8 to 4. So we'll just put token. So that's 5 to 4. We hit it. We expend our power, deal 2 damage. 1 more damage, and this deals 1 more damage too, so it deals 3 damage. This goes to a discard pile. And basically when it hits us, we're going to hit it back and kill it. And she's going to go down here to reveal the last expedition hall. And we have to reveal this. Right, when we enter, when you enter the restricted hall, you find the curator of the museum lying in a pool of blood, his intestines thrown about in a grotesque display. Your stomach turns over and you resist urge to vomit. Whatever did this is still nearby. Search the encounter and deck for the void for hunting horror and place it. Counter deck, discard, and void. All play areas for the hunting horror, place it at exhibit hall ready. So it will sweep away from Nathaniel and go over here. And we go to 3A. There's nothing more, right? Nope. And 3A says, somewhere in this area is the Olaus Romeus' Latin translation of the Necronomicon. You must find it and escape while you can. And we have to empty it for clues. There are 4 of them. So we moved in here. We have to deal with this, I think. I don't want it to hit us twice. So let's play Spectral Razor for 2. Then we'll fight at 6, 7, 8 because we add a fight and a head stat together. 8 against 4. Yeah. So it's only the auto fail. So it's not the auto fail. It will deal 2 damage to it to get to 5. And this has exactly 5 health, so we'll ship it away. That's 1 action more. Then we'll spend the ropes to play read designs for 1 cheaper. Your spell, right? Yeah, your spell. We're investigating at 3 plus 6 at 9 against 3, so it's only the auto fail. And that's not an auto fail. And we grab 2 clues from it because of that. And then we're done. There is no hunting horror in place, so it will go to upkeep. That's just money. And that's some soak and healing, which could be nice, but we haven't really... Nathaniel's just beating everything up. We'll add a doom. We'll draw a bad card. Again. And we'll draw a bad card. Which is actually a bad card. And Nathaniel has to deal with it himself. Do we have any head stuff here? So we can get to 5 head. We can get to 6. So let's take the test. It's a 0. It's against 5, so we deal with it. And discarding 5 cards right now would put us in a bit of a... We'll probably make it, but it's a bit risky. With that done, we are going to try to get these clues. I'm going to play the Arbiter of Fate, I think. And then we're going to... Do we have any books? Nope, I have no book. We're going to say that we're succeeding and failing by 0. 1, 2, 3. No, we're not. We're going to be succeeding by 1. We'll cancel this to draw a card. Okay. Grab a clue. Send this back. We have one more. Actually, we have succeeded this on 0, so we get the card more. Then we have 1 action left. We'll play this for 1. We just drew. And we're using her ability again. And we'll pick the +1, gain 2 clues, and empty this out. Then we're going to be dealing with this. At last you find the locked case containing the Necronomicon. The tome is over 800 pages in length. It's filled with all manner of macabre imagery, formulas, spells, prophecies, and descriptions of creatures from beyond the threshold of space. Without doubt, a dangerous book, but its secrets could be very useful. So either we destroy it, or we keep it and keep it safe. So we came here to get the book, so we're getting the book. So let's go to 2. Nothing bad ever happened from using a Necronomicon. 2 says, the Necronomicon is more than just a book, it's a tool. Within its pages a wealth of information about the forces and creatures you have encountered. Knowing how useful it could be in your endeavors, how could you possibly bring yourself to destroy it? Besides, as long as you keep the book safe in your possession, you will still be fighting those who wish to use the nefarious purposes. We have to remember that we took custody of the Necronomicon. We'll add the Necronomicon to... we have it here. It's a +1 book, and again 2 resources. We'll add it to Jacqueline's deck, which will bring us a 4 book, which will be enough to not have to use spells in case of emergency. And because we took it, we have to add Elder Thing to our back. And then we gain experience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 experience points for the next part of the adventure. So with that done, we got the book and we're ready to take the train in the next part. So you'll have a nice day, and I'll see you around.